Today we are going to be talking about nutrition. The first thing we're going to get out of the way, mini disclaimer, most of this is going to be based on either experiences that I've had, personal opinion, or information that I've read online, because you will find that people can say like, oh, I had the McDonald's diet and I lost weight and I got shredded and everything. Like, there's always going to be anecdotal evidence regardless of whatever people try and do. So what I'm going to try and do is teach you the best nutritional advice that you can take, especially for people that are either trying to lose weight, beginners to working out, or even trying to put on some mass. So with that being said, it's a beautiful day to get swole. So first thing we're going to talk about is macros. I have a lot of people ask, what are macros? So macros are macronutrients. So they're the largest nutrients that your body is absorbing. They are divided into protein, carbs, fats. Protein is the most common one that you're going to hear about. That is your chicken, your fish, your meat. For vegetarians, it's tofu, it's beans, etc. These are the ones that are going to be talked about most often. You want to make sure that you have in your diet, regardless of whether you're vegetarian or not, make sure you're getting some form of protein in. Next we have carbs. So that's usually potatoes, pasta, bread, anything that you think that has sort of flour in it, it's going to be carbed. Cookies, even though it's not part of a diet, but those are delicious. Really important for your muscles. They provide the energy, glycogen, that you need when you're training. And then we have fats. So these are kind of the oils that keep your brain and your body and the hormonal levels in check. So you have avocado, different oils, so like sunflower oil, canola oil, things you cook with. So, what are these percentages I have at the top? 40, 40, 20. When you're dieting, regardless of whether you're cutting or bulking, percentages that you want to follow. 40% of your caloric intake to come from both protein and carbs, and then 20% fat. So, to kind of break it down, right now on my diet, I'm eating about 2,500. So do some quick math here. 2,500 calories. So 40. So 1,000. I need 1,000 grams to come, or 1,000 calories to come from protein, 1,000 calories to come from carbs, and about 500 to come from fat. They're basically roughly guidelines. You don't have to follow them exactly, because it's kind of hard to break down every food exactly to be like, okay, I'm going to get exactly 500 calories from, say, avocado today. That's a fucking lot of avocado. 1,000 calories for carbs, that's the easiest. I mean, a slice of bread is like almost 200 calories, so that's pretty easy to get. The 1,000 calories for me, that's easy because I do a lot of protein shakes and I just really enjoy meat in general. For those of you who are vegan or vegetarian, this is going to be something that you really need to focus on. There are vegan proteins out there. I believe they're made from peas.
Well, I mean, 2 avocados is 500 calories.
Okay, well, did I know that? No. The importance of cheat days while dieting. So cheat days are basically when you eat above your maintenance calories. So in my last video that went up, I had the TDEE calculator, so that allows you to put in your height, weight, and body fat, and also your activity level. This allows you to figure out how many calories you need to maintain your weight, to lose weight, or to put on weight. When you're cutting, there are 2 major hormones that get altered when you're cutting. Your ghrelin and your leptin. Your leptin is what is used for your metabolism. When you're hungry, your leptin will rise, causing you to want to eat food, basically. So whenever you're hungry, it's your leptin's working. When you're cutting, you're training your body to not want to eat as much. So, because the goal is you want to lose the body fat that you put on. Well, your body is very intelligent at figuring out what you're doing. So when you're cutting, you are taking calories away from your body. Your body's going to pick up on that. It's going to notice, okay, hey, I'm trying to burn fat to try and stay alive, because your body's always in survival mode, regardless of what you're doing. I'm trying to burn fat to be alive. All right, let's slow down the metabolism a bit. Let's not burn as many calories. So right now, because my maintenance calories are at 3,500, because I'm at 18% body fat and clocked in today at 238. We dropped 2 pounds. If I eat that 3,400, I'm not going to go up weight. I'm not going to go down weight. Since my diet is at 2,500, I'm trying to drop 2 pounds a week. So, because I'm 1,000 below my maintenance calorie. That is not, we'll talk about that later, but that is not something you should do if this is your first time dieting. This is my third time cutting, so I kind of know how my body reacts to things. I can play with it a little bit better. But then my metabolism will slow down. So if you're cutting for, say, it's usually 3 to 4 months is usually the cutting block, your metabolism will start to slow down. So right now, 2,500, I'll be losing 2 pounds a week. Your body will start to adapt to that, so that it'll move down maybe, okay, now it takes me 2,000 calories that I have to be at to start to lose weight. And then it can go all the way down to 1,800, 1,500, etc. What that means is you have to continuously lower your food intake to lose weight. Now, this is something that you need to do as moving on. Your body will need less calories moving forward to truly get down body fat. But how you can kind of mitigate this is by having cheat days. So cheat days are where you go 500 to 1,000 calories above your maintenance. So for me, that's 4,000 to 4,500 calories. The reason this is your body will start to adapt to obviously cutting, so your metabolism slows down. When you flood it with food, that calories in will force your metabolism to kind of work overtime. You will feel very full after that day, because as you're dieting, your stomach starts to shrink. So kind of flooding it full with food, you're going to feel very full. Usually after a cheat day, I'm going to have my hardest session. So I'll have my strength leg days, because that's when you're doing squats and deadlifts, etc. That's going to really tax your body. But having all those extra calories in from the day before is really going to make sure that I can hit those kind of high weights that I usually try to go for. Glycogen is basically the energy inside your muscles. I'm hitting 6 days a week. I'm really taxing my body, plus dieting. This is why this is not meant for beginners. I've been training for 3 years now. Really do not try out of the gate, if this is your first time doing any sort of dieting, do not try and hit 6 days a week and drop 1,000 calories. You will either have the worst time of your life or you'll just quit. Because it's a lot of fucking work. The energy stores within your muscles decrease because they're getting used while you are contracting your muscles, not having contractions. How does it get replenished? Food. When you're dieting, you're obviously taking in less food because you're hoping to burn the energy, the fat stores. Your muscles hate that. So one thing you'll notice is when you're dieting, you'll have a lot more of DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. This usually happens a day after a workout. Most people complain about this when it comes to leg day. Cheat days will replenish your glycogen stores, will make you feel full, and also if you're being really consistent on a diet, you're not having cookies, you're not having chocolate bars, etc., whatever, when it comes to that cheat day, you're going to really enjoy it. Now, you want to do it in moderation. You don't want to say eat 10,000 calories in a day. That's going to ruin that whole week, 2 weeks of progress that you've made. This is why the 500 to 1,000 number is really important. 500 calories is 1/7 of a pound of fat. So that's why they say to have 500 less calories in a day. You do that for 7 days, 3,500 calories, that's 1 pound of fat. 1,000, 2 pounds of fat. When you go the 500 to 1,000 over, you basically negated 1 or 2 days of your dieting. 14, you can have 1 cheat day a week, because your body's at a much lower body fat percentage. Yeah, that means you have a lot more muscle. That means you have a lot more need for cheat days for the glycogen restore. At my 18%, I'm allowed one every 2 weeks. This one goes out to Bridget. You know who you are. You gave me this camera. She brought up the topic of toning. Toning is one of those shitty buzzwords that you hear about online that doesn't mean shit. Same thing with like a detox. Toning means you're in one of two camps. You're either trying to put on muscle or you're trying to lose weight to show off the muscle you've gained. The buzzword is, I just want to show off my muscle. Okay, great. You either need muscle or you need to lose fat. So, the most common version of toning is you want to show off the muscle. That means you need to be in a caloric deficit so that you are burning the body fat that you have so that you can show off the muscle you worked for. If it's your first time training, you do not have enough muscle to tone. You're going to be focused on building muscle. This individual has the greatest ability to see changes in their body composition quickly. High body fat percentage. This was basically me 3 years ago. I'll show you a picture of what I looked like. I was 270 pounds. I probably was even higher than 25% body fat. And I'd never worked out in my life. I sucked. So, how I lost weight quickly was the absolute wrong way to do it. I did an hour of cardio 4 or 5 days a week. So because I was so overweight, I would burn about 800 calories a session. I was also cutting 500 calories from my diet. That puts me at 1300. Quick math. I lost weight incredibly quickly. Problem. When I stopped dieting, I gained 40 back. Training the following year, I started to train for hypertrophy, which is what is called bodybuilding. I've talked about that a lot. That is training 4 sets per exercise of 8 to 12 reps. I put on some serious muscle my second year. Looking back at my stats, I added about 25 pounds of muscle, maybe 30, because I also did like a really dirty bulk, which sucks now because I have to diet so hard to get rid of all that fat. For those of you that are just starting to work out, do a push-pull leg split. So do my first 3 videos, separate them, go like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, however you want to break them up. And then really just focus on 500 calories below your maintenance. You're going to see huge transformations, especially if you've never worked out or dieted. You're going to see huge developments in your physique. One thing people get discouraged with is weight loss is not linear. You do kind of wonky. Here's the part that everybody wanted me to answer. What is the best diet? Newsflash, there isn't. Bye. Have a great video. There is no such thing as the perfect diet. The perfect diet is the one that you can stick to. Fad diets. These diets, I'll tell you what you can do with them. Don't. The issue with these diets is they are extremely restrictive. The detox one, you just have juice for a whole week. First off, your sugar is through the fucking roof with all of that fruit. Fruit is good for you. Also in moderation. Keto, stupid. Just taking carbs out of the equation, you go down to absolutely nothing. I hope you don't plan on working out, because you won't. Whole30 is the only one that like potentially has some upside to it. You're trying to eat whole foods. You're trying to eat things with one ingredient in it, like a potato, just potato. Why these diets work? They're so extremely restrictive that most people don't swap anything out. So like, if I go on keto, right? I'm no longer allowed to eat carbs. I don't add anything else to my meal. Say I was gonna have 2 chicken breasts, because I'm big, mixed veggies, and then say baked potato. Cut out the baked potato because it's not keto friendly. Cut that potato out. Okay, great. And I'm not replacing with anything. Maybe I'll add a few more extra veggies to it. I just lost like 400 calories in that meal. Because baked potato, you're going to add sour cream. If you don't add sour cream, you're probably a pervert. You lose weight very quickly. Problem, you fucking look at a carb, that weight multiplies. That's why these diets work, is because they're so restrictive. You go so far below your caloric intake, fat just melts off. Who these diets are good for is, say, like MMA fighters, Olympic athletes, people who are about to do a competition for bodybuilding. They want to lose weight as quick as possible to reach a certain goal. They're only doing it for 1 to 2 weeks, maybe a month at most. Those are fine. They also have doctors and nutritionists standing by, and probably personal chefs, so they're fine. For the general public, the weekend warriors, the mom and dad that come home from, you know, their 9 to 5 job and want to work out, lose a few extra pounds, do not do these diets. Horrible. You can fuck up your body for long term. The also issue is you enter a mode called starvation mode. If anybody's watched Survivor, you'll notice that while they're on the island, they're eating like just rice, occasionally some protein. If they win a challenge or something, they'll get like a chicken or they'll get a burger or something. If you look at the before and after pictures, they drop weight hard while they're on the island. When they go back home, that weight fucking multiplies. The reason for that is your body enters starvation mode. This also happens when you try to aggressively diet too much. Your body thinks it's starving, so your metabolism shutting down. Your maintenance calories, like mine, from 3,500, probably drop down to around 1,200 if I was on survival. When you start eating again, your body is going to put all of that on as body fat because it thinks, okay, I don't know the next time that I'm going to be starving. I better have the fat in case. So you'll notice that people that go on keto diet for, say, 3 months, 4 months, they'll lose a lot of weight, and then after they're done that diet, they'll put that weight on plus 20, plus 30 pounds. These diets, big red X, don't do. The next diets we're going to talk about are vegan or vegetarian diets. These ones I'm going to say I'm cautious on. The reason for this is most people that do not accurately track their calories or their food intake already don't get enough protein in. Plug, use coupon code not sponsored. That's going to be my fucking hashtag from now on. Coupon code not sponsored. And if I ever actually get sponsored, I'm still going to make sure that my coupon code is not sponsored. Those of you who don't typically follow your diet, you'll probably have, I'd say, 30 to 60 grams of protein in a day. You know, most people like to have eggs in the morning, about 20 grams there, and then they might have chicken, beef, or something at night for dinner. There's an extra 30 to 40. You're still so far under your protein goals. The safest way to assume it is if you hate tracking calories, it's going to be really hard for you to lose weight. Also, you should buy a food scale if you're trying to lose weight because people are horrible at estimating. I was horrible at estimating. I'll show you an example later when I make my breakfast, but my cereal. A bowl of cereal, you probably think is 1 serving. It's closer to 3. And if you put the milk in before the cereal, you actually are a criminal. The easiest goal to follow is whatever your body weight is, that many grams of protein. I'm at 238 grams of protein. Now that's overkill, but that's the, make sure you're getting enough. On a vegan or vegetarian diet, it's really hard for you to get enough protein in if you are not supplementing. Now, before the vegans and vegetarians yell at me, I'm not saying you can't do it. It's great, especially because you're trying to do it for a social cause, if that's why you're going vegan. Great. I commend you for that. I can never do that. That's not going to happen. I love meat too much. But you really need to make sure you're tracking your protein, especially working out. Also, you need B12 supplements. Meat has B12 in it. It's a very important vitamin for your body to function normally. It is extremely potent in meat. I don't think that there's any in any sort of tofu unless it's added in. If you are going to do vegan or vegetarian, make sure you're getting protein in. You'll definitely need to up your protein with supplements, especially if you're dieting. So that diet I'm cautious with. For those of you that want to do it, great. Just make sure that you're getting enough protein in and make sure you're supplementing vitamins and minerals. So get a multivitamin or get specifically target supplements, which I will talk about in another video. The last diet or type of diet is the typical bodybuilding diet, or also just the typical weight loss diet. It's called the If It Fits Your Macros diet. What are macros? We talked about it earlier. The 40-40-20 split. Air quotes, disclaimer, best diet. The reason that this is the best diet is it is the easiest to follow. Because you're just trying to fit your macros. So what that means is you can eat whatever the hell you want as long as you're getting enough protein, carbs, and fats in. This diet also is extremely unrestrictive because if you have any certain dietary needs, you can work around that by just incorporating that into your macros. This is the diet that I would say start with if this is your first time dieting, because it sets you up for success. If any of you guys also, if you ever need any help, one of my coworkers a couple days ago was messaging me because she wanted to know things about working out. I'm never going to ignore anybody or charge you to get any information. I don't want money or whatever to be the reason why you can't live your best life. If you have questions, in the description, you can always leave a comment on my YouTube page. I'll respond to you. Because I genuinely care about working out and nutrition. I want people to try and live their healthiest life. If you want to lose weight really quickly, yeah, go for keto, that's fine. I'm just saying that afterwards, you're probably going to put the weight back on. Also a thing in the fad diet category, people have noticed that people have started to do the carnivore diet. Joe Rogan did it, or is doing it. Jordan Peterson did it. Diet, you're only eating meat. You're not getting any carbs in. You are getting some fat if you are eating the fat of the animal. And that's why most people fail their diets, is that they restrict too much from what they want to enjoy. Also why you have cheat days, because giving up McDonald's for the rest of your life, or cookies, or whatever, insert whatever your favorite food is, hard and stupid, because eventually you'll get to a point where you're just like, fuck it, why am I doing this? And then you'll just binge eat, and then you'll gain a bunch of weight. So everything is supposed to be in moderation. Training 3 days a week, it's gonna be hard for some of you to start. It was hard for me to start. And dieting at the same time, it can be a lot of work. So trying to make it easy for you by only hitting 3 days, by only taking away 500 calories, is setting you up for success long term by getting the proper foundation. This is why this diet is, I would say, the best for those of you starting out. If you later on want to move to one of those more restrictive diets, go for it, but try your hand at this first, because this will teach you the proper way to do things before you try those harder ones. You don't teach a 5-year-old calculus. He or she count up to 100, or 2 + 2. You don't just throw calculus at them, or a physics problem. Same thing. If you've never dieted and you throw keto at somebody, they'll probably end up failing it. If you've never worked out and you try my 6-day-a-week program right away, you're gonna quit, because you're not used to training 6 days a week. You are going to feel like a wreck. So that's also a disclaimer. Anybody following along on my program, it is an advanced workout, shit ton of volume. Do 3 days of it, or do 4 days of it, or even do 2. You can do an upper and lower split. I think those are the most of the nutrition questions I was asked. This is a good starting video. I'm going to make obviously shorter ones throughout this. This is just a big one I wanted to get out of the way. I'm answering the most general questions that everybody has. Again, if you ever have any question, hit me up at Instagram or in the comments. I'll answer it. If it's a question that I think that a lot of people have, I'll record a video for it, and then I'll let you know when it's going up. So if you were like, what's the best supplement? Well, I'm going to make that video, so I'll wait till tell you about that. I'm going to leave that video here. It's time for me to go hit the gym, and just remember, stay swole.